Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome everybody to this video. We're going to go over through one of my indicators called Money Printer 2.0. We're going to be back testing different assets and you're going to see the results by yourself. It has been performing very, very well. I'm not promising you that you're going to become a multimillionaire, but you will definitely become profitable and you're going to become consistent and you're going to be able to pull out very, very juicy and big payouts in case that you are trading a funded account or in case you're trading your live personal account. So for example, here I got $8,000 profit in less than 2 weeks. Okay, guys, this is in a matter of about 7 days. So it's about 1% per day if you have a 100K account, and many prop firms allow you to have payouts every 2 weeks. Imagine getting about $10,000 to $20,000 per month. That's going to change your life. Absolutely, it's going to change your life. I want to remind you all, so if you are new to my channel, my name is Aldrich, and in my previous videos, I have shown the progress with this indicator called Money Printer 2.0, and it's the same indicator that I use to grow a $1,000 account into over $20,000. So now imagine what you can do if you have a funded account of $100,000 or $200,000. Initially, this indicator was created to help beginner traders, beginner and struggling traders. If you are not consistent and if you're not profitable, this is a very good option for you to take. You can level up your trading and at least start having some profits and start having some payout. I want to see everybody win. And I want to see everybody finish this year with at least some decent profits. Okay, guys, so as you can see, this is the Money Printer 2.0 indicator. You will see these arrows, okay? And the previous chart that you were looking at, it was in the MT5, okay? So the only difference is that you're going to get some squares, and in here, in the MT4, you're going to get some arrows. These are going to be your buy and sell entry signals. So remember what I said, this strategy is very, very friendly if you are a beginner trader or if you have no idea what you're doing, okay? Because you're going to be able to take the arrows and that's it. You're going to become, this has a very high win rate, okay? And especially now, you want to make sure to trade this indicator when you have good volume, okay? So recently, we've been having a pretty decent amount of volume. So I've seen this indicator performing pretty well, okay? By the way, I do trade live with my members. So also in case you are stuck, you can check the link below and I have a variety of options for you. Okay, guys, so one of the rules that I have to trade this indicator is just I only trade 1 hour and a half every single day. And I stick to the New York session. Doesn't matter if you trade London or even if you trade Asian session. I recommend you trading and focusing only in the first 1 hour and a half so that you can filter out and you can trade in the most volatile and liquid time of the session, which is close to the market open, which is the first 1 hour and a half. Let's dive in. I'm going to go a little quick. Okay, I'm not going to be cherry picking. I'm going to just simply show you all of the trades that you could have taken this whole week, okay? We're gonna go over through gold, NASDAQ, US 30, and Bitcoin. Okay, guys, so this was the first trade right here, as you can see, and it was a winning trade, okay? So as you can see, you take your trade here, okay, and you place your stop loss right above the entry candle, okay? Or if you wanna be a little bit more conservative, you can place it above the moving averages. Now, I only trade in the direction of the moving averages, okay? So you're gonna notice that I do have some moving averages, okay? So I only take the trades accordingly to the moving averages. Like this one was also a valid trade, which was this one. As you can see, we had a decent, nice breakout of this consolidation right here. Okay, so your entry would have been here and your stop loss could have been here. And as you can see, you had all of these possible or potential take profit. So as you can see, you're going to be able to catch pretty decent moves. Okay, guys, it has a decent amount of risk to reward ratio. So for example, this trade, you enter here, your stop loss would be above here, okay? And it was an easy 1 to 2. Same here, you enter right here at the close of this candle, stop loss right below, and it gave you a 2.5 risk reward ratio, okay guys? Now, this trade, on the other hand, you don't take it because it didn't close or broke out of the moving averages. So I would ignore that trade. Now, this one I would ignore because also price, it's right in between the moving averages. Now, this one would be a valid trade, okay? You enter here and your stop could have been right above, okay? And your target was probably around this support area. Always look to the left, okay? And as you can see, let's see how many points did it drop. This is gold 1 minute chart. I usually trade in the 1 minute chart. Okay, guys, because simply because you're gonna be able to get a better risk to reward ratio. Okay, and gold is moving pretty nice, so you don't need to go into a higher time frame. So right here, you place your stop loss right above the candle. Okay, and you got a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. So you got 3 trades of 1 to 2. So this day you got 1 trade, 2 trades, and 3 good trades. Okay, all of them were 1 to 2, and you got 3 of them. So that was amazing. So it was a total of 6R. Okay, guys. So that means that if you are risking a 1% in a 100K account, that would be $6,000. Okay, so that's pretty amazing. So as you can see, guys, this is very simple. The only thing you have to know is how to mark your levels. That's it. That's basically the only thing you gotta do. Okay, just mark your zones, your support and resistance levels, and find some rejections like here. Okay, and this could be your target, the low of this range. Basically, that's it. You don't have to overcomplicate things, guys. Just stick to what works. Okay, and don't complicate things. Right now on the internet, there's so much information, so many complications, and just stick to whatever works for you and just keep it very simple, guys. So now let's go to the next day. Awesome. Okay, guys. So as you can see, guys, this is the time around where I start taking my trades, and I will stop at London close, which is around this time. Okay. Now, this is the area in which we are going to be able to look for potential trades. Okay. Now, right here, you immediately can see that the trend is down, right? The price is dropping. You can see the moving averages. Okay. They're pointing downwards. Okay. They have this level of rejection and you get your entry signal. Okay. Your stop loss can be above this area and all of these, your potential target, all of that. Okay. So as you can see, it was pretty big move. It was a very, very big move. Your entry was right here. Your stop could have been above here and it was huge. It was a very big drop. Okay, guys. Now this you ignore because it's inside the moving averages. That's a counter trend trade. And this one you ignore because it never broke out of the moving averages. Okay. So that was your trade for the day. Okay. That's another thing. I always recommend you taking one good trade a day and that's it. Okay. Don't try to take more trades because you're going to increase your chances or your probabilities of losing. So just stick to one trade and that's it. So if you enjoy my videos and you like the type of content that I provide you, make sure to subscribe, guys. I do have a lot of valuable videos and a lot of amazing information. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And right here, as you can see, I just marked my resistance levels and you can separate the time in which you will look for your trades. Okay, guys. So that's until that time right here. So immediately we do have a signal. So as you can see, guys, right at the beginning of the session, we have a signal, but unfortunately price is right in between the moving averages. Okay, so you ignore this signal and right here we have this beautiful buy signal. Okay, guys, so as you can see, price broke out. That's your entry, your stop loss, and all of this was your potential take profit. Let me see how many points. As you can see, this is the candle. You take your trade, place your stops below, and it was a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, guys. Okay, so that's it for this day. We do have a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, guys. Imagine if you had a funded account, we already had a bunch of great trades. We already had about 5 good trades of at least 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. So we already have 5 winning trades of at least 1 to 2 risk reward ratio. So that means that we are making $2,000. Okay, we're risking $1,000, which is 1%, but we're making a 1 to 2. Okay, so we're making $2,000 times 5 trades. We already would have about $10,000. And this is only in 3 days. Okay, guys, so it's very similar to the results that I shown you in my account a while ago. Now, another thing that I do recommend you guys is to stick only to one pair. The thing is that if you start mixing strategies and you start trading other assets, you're gonna mix the results. Okay, you're gonna be getting some losing trades in other assets. So I recommend you to first backtest and observe what works best. Me personally, I do like to trade this indicator in gold but you can trade it in Bitcoin, US30, or NASDAQ. Let's continue and let's place the time that we would be looking for. Trades would start around this time, okay? And we will finish trading around this time, okay? So as you can see, before market open, we did had a beautiful and gorgeous and huge drop. And right now it's very clean, this downtrend, okay guys? So you just take the signals, you had one here and another one right there. That's it. You just take your trade right here, entry, stops above, and as you can see, it dropped. It was a 1 to 3. Okay, this trade was a 1 to 3. Now, right here, you take your entry right there, stops above, and it was easily like a 2.5. So it was another 2 winning trade, guys. Let me just modify this. We had 7 trades. So now you would have about $14,000. Okay. Now notice how every trade has provided you a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, guys. So you don't even need a very, very high win rate to make money, okay? Because you're taking a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, guys. So even if you have like couple losses, okay, just make sure that you risk a fixed amount, okay, 1R. And still at the end of the month or at the end of the week, you're going to be able to have a bunch of money, especially if you have a funded account and if you're going to be able to request a payout every 2 weeks. You're going to be in a very, very good position, guys. So you might be wondering how can you access or how can you get the Money Printer 2.0? Well, you can check the link down in the description. I currently have a 20% discount and this is the online course. Okay, guys, you will get access with me. You're going to be able to have private mentorship with me and you're going to access the Money Printer and my other amazing strategies. So this is the other website, guys, and you're going to be able to find all of my products and services and you're going to be able to get it's included here in the mentorship and the systems. I am currently offering a bonus of 8 live trading sessions with me and my group. Okay. And also you can get the Money Printer alone, just in case you want to get only the Money Printer, and I have the master program. It includes basically everything. So now let's do a little back test with the Bitcoin. Okay. I don't trade Bitcoin a lot, but I know many of you love the Bitcoin. And also I have been noticing that it's been giving pretty nice moves. Okay, guys. So as you can see, we had this huge drop. Okay. You mark your level. That's your resistance. Very simple. And you got a signal right here. Now, this one was a little bit tricky because it didn't actually broke out of the moving averages. But let's say you took this trade at the breakout of this candle and you could have taken all of these amazing drops. And you might be wondering, like, does this indicator also work in London session? And the answer is yes. Like, you can also apply in London session. As you can see, this was during London. At your entry right here, look at the moving averages. You have the trend pointing downwards. You enter here, your stops above, and you had a pretty nice potential trade. Okay, so this is another day. You mark down the time that you want to be trading right here until around here. Okay, guys. So initially we got a buy signal. Okay, so as you can see, we had a nice liquidity grab. Okay, and price was breaking above. You place your stops below, and all of this was your potential target, which was easily a 1 to 2 risk reward. Let me see. You enter right here, stops below. And yeah, it was easily about 1 to 3. Nice, amazing trade. Now, I'm going to show you one of the exceptions. Okay, one trade that you don't want to take, how to avoid a losing trade. And this is a great example. You can see that we have this high, okay, and price is creating a double top. You get this buy entry signal, but you don't take that because price is right against that resistance level. Okay, guys, so you simply ignore when you have a signal going against a level. So this was the next day. So as you can see, guys, I'm not like actually like selecting trades. I'm just going one day to another. And you've been watching how you can get pretty nice trades. Okay, so this was the next day. You got a sell entry and you got a decent, this one was a decent 1-to-1. Now, why you want to take a 1-to-1? Because you had this support to the left. Okay, it was very close to this support level. Look to the left, always look to the left. Okay, and if you got a support, you don't want to be greedy. So after that, guys, so we had this initial short entry and then we had this nice buy. It was that candle, your entry, your stops. And as you can see, it immediately just went right to the TP. And then right after that, bounce from that support and you had this nice candle. You take your entry and you got a very, very quick 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Now, if you wanted to leave some runners, obviously your stop should have been below this candle. And as you can see, potentially it continued going up. Okay. Now, right here, this is another example of a trade that you want to avoid because this entry was right against that resistance. Okay. So you want to avoid that trade. So as you can see, guys, this was the next day and just look at the moving averages, look at the trend. Everything is bearish. You got your sell signal. You take your trade, stops above, and you take your money. Okay. This was a nice 1-to-1. You got to be very fluid with the market. Okay. Because if you don't have a lot of volume, then you might just want to go for a 1-to-1. Inside the course, you're going to be able to learn all of my rules, all of my protocols, okay, in which you're going to be able to identify which are going to be the best days to risk more and which are going to be the least best days. And right here, we had another trade right here. Okay. So you take your trade, stops above, and you can target this next support. Okay, guys. So let me just quickly draw at this resistance, that rejection, and a potential take profit down at that support. Okay, guys. So you take your trade, stops above, and as you can see, it did drop. Now, this trade did give you a pretty nice 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. And you might be wondering if you can apply this strategy to indices, and the answer is absolutely yes. Okay, guys, so this is Nasdaq, and as you can see, the first signal, it was a winning trade, but unfortunately, it didn't broke out of the moving average. So even though it worked, you might want to stick to the rules. Okay, sometimes you're going to be able to miss some trades, but you want to stick to the rules. Okay, now, and right here we had another short opportunity. As you can see, price, it did drop. By the way, guys, I know a lot of you like group chats and discords, and when you become a member, I do have the possibility that you can join inside my private Discord and you can ask any questions, you can post your charts, you can discuss anything you want with me. Okay, this was the next day, guys. As you can see, you just mark your levels. This was the low of the day. Okay, and as you can see, we had a nice liquidity grab and a fake out, and this candle did closed above the moving averages, and as you can see, we had a huge move up. Okay, now this second entry you ignore because you are against the resistance. Okay, now sometimes, guys, you want to be very cautious at the market open because you get a lot of whipsaw and a lot of liquidity grab and manipulation. Okay, so right at the market open, we did have this sell signal, and even though it did work, it was a little choppy, the movement. Okay, so you gotta leave enough room for your stop loss. Okay, so this was a very quick trade for around 35 points. And after that, guys, we had another pretty nice opportunity. Okay, as you can see, price broke out. Okay, as you can see, we had this little trend and price broke out. Okay, you take your trade, your stops below, and as you can see, it had a huge move up. Okay, and after that, we had another buy entry signal, but it was very close to this resistance. Okay, so maybe you pass. And this was on the next day. As you can see, look at the trend. This is a perfect, very, very, very heavy bearish trend. So you just simply take the arrows and you're going to be fine. So that's why I was saying, like, this is very beginner friendly, guys. You just take the arrows and that's it. Now, obviously, you're going to have way better months than others. And right now it's very, very juicy. Okay. So we have a lot of volatility by the end of the year because there's a lot of participation in the market. So you might grab your spot because I'm going to close the axis very, very soon. Okay, guys. So you had your arrow, you take your trade, stops above, and you let it run. As you can see, it was a 1-to-3 risk reward. After that, bounce from the moving averages, and you got another entry signal, stops right above. And as you can see, it gave you another big opportunity. It was another 1-to-3 risk reward ratio. Now, guys, basically every single day it's giving you at least one winning trade. This is really nice. This is amazing. Imagine if you have a funded account, a 100K account, that's a lot of money. And yes, it also works with US30. Actually, US30 has been one of my favorites lately since October. And as you can see, we had a huge drop right at the spot here. Okay, as you can see, we had a nice sell entry and it broke below the moving averages. and it was a huge trade. Okay, so you place your stops, and as you can see, it was a huge drop. After that, guys, the trend was very well established, and you had another sell opportunity. You place your stops above and just let it run. It was another 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, guys. This is absolutely amazing. Also, another thing, guys, is that I've seen that many prop firms accept US clients, and they do have an offer the MT4 and MT5 platform. So if you are from the United States, you can easily apply these into your prop firm account and you can get these signals. Also, you can trade, doesn't matter in which part of the world you are. If you're in America, Asia, or Europe, you're going to be able to trade this amazing strategy, guys. So for the next day, guys, as you can see, we had a nice buy signal, but price didn't broke out of the moving averages. But as you can see, it actually worked and it gave you a nice and big move. The next day, we had this beautiful sell. And as you can see, you take your shorts, stops above. And the thing is that you only caught a 1-to-1 because if you look to the left, you have this support. Okay, so you don't want to be greedy and you don't want to leave it running for a lot because you don't want to take the risk of reversal. Okay, guys, so that's exactly what happened. It bounced from that support. And after that, you got another beautiful entry signal right here. Now, it was safe to take this trade because we did a liquidity grab from the lows. And as you can see, it had a big potential of more than a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. And lastly, look at this trend, guys. Look at the moving averages. You had your sell entry signal. Okay, you take your trade, stops above, and you just let it run. It was a big trade. This was a very big trade. Huge potential. Okay, you want to make sure that you leave enough room for your stop loss. You don't want to get stopped out, and you just let it run. Okay, after that, we had another beautiful sell. As you can see, it bounced from the moving averages and you got your entry signal, and it did drop for a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio. So as you can see, right now, guys, we're having amazing conditions, very good volatility, and it's ideal to be trading with this indicator.